Asian American right now, they're on social media and they have this to say. So let's watch and then we talk about this at the end.
Asian Americans so silent right now. That's because they didn't vote. Yes, they didn't vote because they didn't like Kamala from their internal misogyny or internal racism and felt indifferent enough about the orange man so that they thought that a no vote was going to the orange man. So the reason why they're not upset right now is because they voted for this. That's why. That's not me excusing them. I am a disabled person. I was advocating for Kamala before the election, so I had the chance to talk to a lot of my friends. They're not my friends anymore, but people in my life about how this election was going to affect me and people like me and if they care about me, why they should vote for Kamala, and they still didn't care. They couldn't care less because at the end of the day, it was all about taxes. Yeah, they're tax break. The problem is Asians that have a level of wealth feel this closeness to white people because white people that had that level of wealth for so long that they feel like they're getting a chance to be part of the white club, but they're not. And if I could give an insight into maybe why Asians are like this, it's because a lot of our parents, like in my generation as millennials, we have seen our other countries very impoverished. Like for me, I'm Korean, so I know South Korea's history. Like South Korea was fully bankrupt in the 80s and saw their first economic boom in the 2000s. It hasn't been that long, and they're in like the top 20 GDP in the world now. That level of wealth growth, normal citizens see that and think, oh my god, I'm just smart enough. And if I invest correctly, I can also get there. And if you look at South Korea, it's an oligarchy. That country is ran by like three families, and the main one is the Samsung family. And they have so many scams. They have done some bad stuff, and the country just lets them get away with it. And if you look at the election turnout, it shows that South Koreans are starting to wake up. Like, oh, we're an oligarchy. But Korean Americans, look at the past of Korea, see that you can still succeed, feel like there's a privilege of being in America, utilize the model minority method, and then try to enter the 1%. They think that they can reclaim the 1%. Wake up. You're not. You're not white enough. They'll never be white enough. They will never accept you.
And so many people asking Asian creators to speak up about the whole riots in LA and all these deportation things. What did I say? We support the deportations of illegals.
Sir, you look like the immigration issue you're ranting about, so the projection is wild because you look very illegal.
Asian people are really dependent on, migrant labor.
The loss of immigrants has the potential for a full economic collapse because of significant GDP reduction, labor shortages, increased prices, reduced consumer spending and demand, and billions lost in tax revenue. An economic collapse affects everyone. Immigrants make this country thrive.
This presidency promised that they would deport illegal immigrants. They're doing that. Why, right? You see, like, these immigrants are waving the flags of other countries, burning down the flag of the U.S., and then you think Asian people want to support that? No, they want to stay away from that. They don't want to be grouped in with these people. Asian people don't want to focus on this negativity and, say what they're really thinking. Deport, right? Deport illegal immigrants.
He is the embodiment of the model minority, which was created to pit Asians against other marginalized groups, rewarding obedience, silence, and hard work with crumbs of white approval. And he ate that up, tap dancing for people who don't even want you here. No matter how hard you try to prove you hate yourself more than they ever could, and try so hard to distance yourself from the very people who fought for the rights that you now leech off of. You can grovel all you want for white validation, but you'll never earn validation from the same people who call you Kung Flu and China virus. Remember that? Kung Flu and China virus? You are not native, so how do you think it is that you were able to come to the United States? You think it was the whites who just kindly handed you an invite into our country out of the kindness of their heart? No, you got here because black and brown people far braver than you bled in the streets. The Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965 made it possible for you to live your American dream as the oppressor's lapdog. You're welcome. The people brave enough to fight out in the streets are the same people keeping you here. That fight going on right now is again a fight that you will benefit from just so that you can parade around like you earned those rights when you have never fought for anything in your weak little existence. Not your people, not your dignity, not even yourself. But be careful because if they deport all of the people who fight for our rights, you might find yourself in an internment camp because who's going to fight for you? You don't even fight for yourself.
If you're an Asian American who's here legally, whose parents worked their butts off to get out of the country and give yourself the American dream legally,
When he says take one for the team, what team is he talking about?
a UE green card, got UE citizenship, got you into the school.
So we're talking like Colombia student hunted by ICE, Chung Yun-seo, right? She was a legal permanent resident, and she was hunted by ICE to be deported.
We're here engagement farming for pity points and emotional impact and virtue signaling for
I'm all those things. My parents did it legally, but then they ran out of money and also didn't understand the paperwork with their limited English, so I ended up getting citizenship on my own as an adult. But I know that was my privilege to do so. Having learned English, being able to work higher jobs where I could afford extra money to do the paperwork as an adult for myself. Trump said he was out to get migrant criminals, killers, gang members, people that are taking the jobs. But ICE is waiting non-criminals, family men and women, to just put their head down and work. The kind of work that nobody else wants to do. It's like below minimum wage. The kind of work that has them working around the clock, that doesn't allow them any extra hours to go to English classes because they're providing for their families. But not only that, it's the kind of work that Los Angeles is built on, that everyone living in Los Angeles benefits from. When you control toddlers, graduate parents as they're flying out to their mother and father, and you call people that are talking about these issues trying to earn pity points as they criticize a criminal president who should even be fucking president.
I hope you keep those opinions to yourself because it's embarrassing. That's all it is.
I mean, I wish you had taken your own advice, because to be talking like that as this is happening, that is a depraved form of humanity. What Korean church are we going to? Not to mention the legal citizens that are getting swept up, catching strays for Trump's mass deportation agenda. Did they send you a plaque that said our model minority? Is it hanging in your wall? You know what? I'm glad you said it. Better to know who you're following, people. I hope that plaque hits you on the head when they tell you you're not white enough to be on their team.
Asian people in the US are so weird. I feel like most POCs, especially like black and Hispanic people, tend to like and support their own people more versus Asian people liking white people more than their own people. And nothing is wrong with that, but I'm just saying it's interesting that many Asian people in the US tend to be that way. And I also feel like within Asian communities, there's always this internal competition of which Asian race is superior. But I wish there are more Asian people that are proud of being Asian and support each other and love themselves, like regardless of which Asian race they are. Because why not?
So Asian America right now, they are literally worried, scared, because ICE is after them. Yes, you had me correct. ICE is after them. Remember, for the longest time, Asian, they like to vote where the white are. They like to be associated with white people because they always feel closer to the white, because they want to be white. That is the reality. And I don't blame the Asians, because at the end of the day, even them, they were colonized, and it has been indoctrinated in their mind that, to have pale skin, to look white is better, it's superior. And that's the reason why they voted the way they did, because of course they want their tax break. Of course Trump is white. Of course they are anti-blackness. Kamala is black. So right now, with what is happening right now, the Asian community, they're saying, ICE is after us, and we have this internal fight among us Asian community within our own community. Others feel they're more superior than the others, and then there's this thing where the Asian don't like to be associated with the black folks in America, and also they don't like to be associated with the Latino community, that is the brown people in America. They always want to be associated with the white community. They always want to have, things that are more aligned to the white community, and that's the reason why they voted the way they did, because first of all, they are conservative in nature. That's their culture. And then the other thing you need to understand is that whole issue of being anti-blackness, and also the issue of, they're saying they want their tax break, and of course all the privileges that the Asian community are enjoying, it's all thanks to the sacrifices, the bloodshed that the black folks, the black Americans fought for. All these privileges, the right to settle in America, the right to get those green card, the right to get the American citizenship, the right, to get those high skills, in America, the right to get these jobs. All these came as a result of the sacrifices black America made, and that's the reason why they had that civil unrest at those days. That's the reason why we had that time when black America, they say they're equal citizens as the way white are being given those privileges, and they fought for it through blood, sweat, tears. And of course the constitution was changed, and they safeguarded black Americans and of course other races privileges which are being enjoyed up to today, and all these thanks to the black American. And yes, black Americans fought for. All you see, all these privileges that allow other races to come into America, all this is thanks to the Black Americans who fought for that equal rights for all human beings, and they paid it with sweat, blood, and tears. So today, when we see the Asian community say, "Oh, we wish we did not vote the way we did," "Oh, we are sorry," "Oh, why are we the way we are?" And for the longest time, the Black Americans, literally during the campaign time, they said, "This is what's going to happen. It's not just about deporting illegal immigrants. They are going to come after you guys as long as you're in America and you don't look the way you're supposed to look as an American." Yes, if you're white, you have that look of America, you are safe. But if you're Asian, if you are Latino, if you are, a black, chances are they are coming after you as long as you are not quite looking the way they want you to look. And it has been broadcasted in on the media. They have said people who have the correct papers, but somehow they were deported as a result of 1, 2, 3 things. It's not a secret, it's there, it's in the media. If you check, you can find it. So that's the reason why I'm saying right now the Asian community, they need to learn from this experience, because karma is a bitch. This is FAFO season where they say when you do something stupid, you're going to pay for the consequences, and these are the consequences that they are paying for. So next time there is an election, they should do their due diligence, do your research, and then vote for somebody who has your best interest at heart, who will support your community, who will come up with policies that are going to help you and your community to thrive and to live in a safe place. And of course, not being worried that, oh, maybe my citizenship is going to be stripped away, or maybe I'm going to be denied a visa, or maybe having this panic attack because you're going to be deported the next day. Let me know what you think about this video. Drop your comments and subscribe to my channel.